Hello everyone, it is Karina with Karina Loves to Plan, and yes, there is a whole ton of ink on my desk right now because I decided that I wanted to swatch all of the shimmer inks that I currently own. Let's get right to it. So I have here my Hobonichi A5 notebook with 52 GSM Tomoe River paper. You can see I've already made the outlines for all my inks. I counted, I think I have 42. Yeah, that's a lot. And I will be swatching with my Kakimori stainless steel nib, and this is on the River City Penco nib holder. And then I will be also swatching with my Browse ornament nib. This is the 3mm size, and I'm gonna just place this in the nib holder like so. Let's get started. The first ink I will be swatching is Colorverse Brain, and this was a sample sent by a pen friend, and I'm so glad that I have it. I need to agitate that a little, because it's one of those inks that is that swampy, murky, what does a Grace of Wildly Imaginable call it? It's a poop green, but it's got shimmer. So let's just do my little line swatch here. Oh, I love this. Now, the reason I decided to do all of my shimmer inks was because I do get asked quite a lot, like how I make shimmer inks work for me. And honestly, I feel like part of it is that I will put it in anything. Absolutely just put it in anything. So then let's go ahead and write with the stainless steel nib. So we have Colorverse Brain. And then let's do a line width right underneath. Oh, how pretty is that? Look at that shimmer, kind of a murky poop green with a greenish gold shimmer. Oh, Colorverse Brain. Next we have Colorverse Icy Moon, and this one, there's not much of it left, but I have used it in a pen once and I really liked it, so I thought I'm gonna keep the sample and try and use it in, I guess, another currently inked down the line. And I think one of the reasons why I do these ink explorations to go over what's in my collection is because sometimes I forget what I still have in my collection. And this just helps me take stock of what I've got. So I've got Colorverse Icy Moon, and it will dry with a lovely pink shimmer. That's lovely. I really should ink that up in January. So Colorverse Icy Moon. The next brand of shimmer inks that I have is Diamine, and I think I have 10 here. So Diamine is the brand that I have the most of in terms of shimmer inks, and the next one here is Blue Peppermint. It's this lovely kind of teal blue with a blue shimmer. And just take a look at this. Look at how bright and fun that is. Lovely. It's harder to do the swirl on this side. There we go. And oh, I gotta make sure that I clean off my nib properly here. So we've got, ooh, almost spilled that everywhere. Diamine, Blue Peppermint. And I hope you can see the shimmer in here, but I don't know if you can. You can see a little bit of shimmer here as well. It is a really lovely blue. So Diamine, Blue Peppermint. Next is Diamine Cappadocia. This is one that I purchased from Galen Leather, and I think it's an exclusive for them. Cappadocia is this really lovely dark green with gold shimmer. And this was one of those inks that I kind of bought sight unseen. I thought, it's so pretty. There's nowhere that sells any samples of this, so I'm gonna try it. And it's one of those holiday colors, but it's not one that I use that often. And I think it's because I have so many inks in my collection that It's always hard to be able to use all of them. So we have Diamine, Cappadocia. Look at that shimmer. Such a stunning, stunning ink. Diamine Cappadocia. Next we have Diamine Deck the Halls, and this is from the Green Ink Event Calendar. One that I saw somebody ink up recently, and I think it might have been Maria, or no, Maria might have had it inked for 30 inks, 30 days in November. But it's got a really lovely base and then really fun shimmer. But this is the thing I like about Diamine inks, is that they are very well behaved inks, especially their shimmers. And I've been able to use all of these in my pens. Like the samples that I have, I've already tried in a pen, and I'm keeping them because they've worked so well for me. Look at the lovely purple base with the pink. It's just stunning. Diamine, Deck the Halls. The next one for Diamine is a Dusted Truffle, another ink vent. I can't remember which ink vent this was, but these bottles were sent to me by a pen friend, and I'm so grateful for them, because I don't think I'll ever buy a full ink vent calendar. That's just not me. I don't like being surprised, really. Like, I don't mind surprises of like ink samples from friends, but if it's something that I've paid for, I'd like to know what I'm buying. I really like this kind of light brown with silver shimmer. Really pretty, and I've used it a few times now, and I think I'm going to keep using it until I'm absolutely done with that bottle. It's this lovely beigey brown Dusted Truffle with a silver shimmer. Really lovely for the holidays, and is like a perfect match for my Leonardo Violetea. Oh, lovely Dusted Truffle. Next we have Frosted Orchid, and another lovely purple with some shimmer. I'm going to keep saying that for all inks. Another lovely ink with shimmer. Yes, Karina, all of these have shimmer. This is why we're doing this. But the base is kind of like a burgundy purple, or a purple that reminds me of Tyrian purple. Another Diamine ink. It's like they've taken Tyrian purple and then added the shimmer to this, which I don't mind at all, because I think it's lovely. Whoops. Diamine Frosted Orchid. There we go. Beautiful color. The next Diamine ink is Masquerade, and I believe this was the 2023 ink vent calendar. I don't know. I can't keep track of them anymore. But I love that when this was swatched, everybody was like, that's a Karina color. It's a dusty pink with like this coppery shimmer. Of course, I'm going to buy this one. And I love the way that this one looks. It's a me ink. What else can I say? Oh gosh, there's so much on this nib. Masquerade. And it dries just beautifully. Yeah, totally a me ink. Masquerade. The next ink is Memory Lane. I actually have this inked up for December. I'm a big fan of purple, but I'm also a big fan of purple shimmer. I feel like I have a few purple shimmers that look very similar in this, but I am okay with that. Oh, I have to grab more here. Such a lovely lilac ink with silver shimmer. It's just pretty overall. And you know what? Sometimes I find that the Diamine ink event inks aren't always about, you know, being holiday color or holiday theme, but just a new introduction of inks to the collection. There's hardly any here, so I'm barely getting any. Come on. Yeah, darn. Let's try that one more time. There we go. Diamine, Memory Lane. Next is Diamine Olive Swirl, another lovely ink from the ink vent calendar. Again, I think this was the 2023 or, oh, I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't know which one's which. And another lovely kind of olive green ink. And this one has kind of a goldy green shimmer. Excellent. So pretty. One of my favorite greens, I think, because it reminds me a little bit of Rohr and Klingner Alt Gold Grün, but with shimmer. Everything's better with shimmer. And I know there's probably some of you who are like, I can never make shimmer work in my pens. And what did Shauna say? She actually said something in Simona's Discord. She's like, Karina, the one who could make inks work in pens where it shouldn't. I should make that a sticker. All right, Diamine Olive Swirl, so pretty. Next one is, I think it's Diamine. I got this from Grace of Wildly Imaginable, and I think it's a Cult Pens exclusive. So this one is, as you can see, it's purple, but it was part of, I guess, a group of, or an exclusive group of inks called 7 Deadly Sins. And this one is a lovely purple. And now I'm trying to remember what was the shimmer in here. I can't remember. So this was, I'm going to say, the 7 Deadly Sins, Pride. Oh my gosh, I cannot remember for the life of me what color the shimmer is in here. I think it's silver, but we'll see when it dries. It's like a surprise. Diamine and Cult Pen 7 Deadly Sins, Pride. Next we have, Rainbows End, and this was part of a huge pile of inks that Lexi of Lip Gloss and Lattes sent over to me. And I am so grateful that she did, because just look at that. It's a really good purple that kind of reminds me of Murasaki or Pilot Murasaki Shikibu, which I now have a bottle of. And then it's got a lovely pink shimmer. Purple and pink seem to go really well together, especially in shimmer. So this one is Rainbows End. Oh, look at that. Lovely. Oh, just a big fan of the purple with the pink shimmer. So Diamine, Rainbows End. Next we have Diamine Sugar Snap, another green shimmer ink. Gosh, why am I saying another shimmer ink? All of these are shimmer inks, Karina. Goodness gracious. But another green ink. And this one is more of like an apple green versus like the olive green of Olive Swirl right above it. And this one also has green shimmer. And it's amazing how different the two look with, even with the same shimmer. So Diamine. And this one is Sugar Snap. Beautiful. Oh, I love that. Sugar Snap. And then last of the Diamine inks is Yule Log. And I had this inked in November because somebody did ask me in a previous video from, I guess, a couple of months ago, whether Yule Log actually was an ink that worked in pens, and it absolutely does. Look at that lovely brown, and it's got that coppery shimmer. Yeah, that one is a favorite. It's brown, it's shimmery. Why wouldn't I like it? So we have Diamine, Yule Log, but also it reminds me of like those delicious looking Yule Log cakes. And oh, I'm so excited for those this Christmas. So, Diamine Yule Log, and now I'm thinking about cake. The next ink is Dominant Industry Autumn Forest. This was another one of those inks where, did I try sample this? I don't remember if I did. I don't know, there's some inks that I just see and I'm like, I have to buy it. And this one, did I even get any? No. There we go. Just look at that beautiful green. And then it's got this lovely pink shimmer. I don't know why I don't use this more often because it's just a stunning color. And the Dominant Industry shimmer inks actually work quite well for me. So Dominant Industry, I don't know if you can hear that because I've got my microphone on, but Henry is practicing his recorder and he's playing Ode to Joy, Autumn Forest. So if you can hear that, I apologize, but otherwise, the recorder. Right, Dominant Industry, Autumn Forest. The next Dominant Industry ink is Harvest Moon. Again, another one that I decided to purchase without trying a sample first. And that's not normally me, but then I guess it depends on where you're catching me in my fountain pen journey. Most of the time I'm like, I recommend samples before buying a bottle. But then sometimes you don't always have the opportunity to be able to buy a sample of a specific ink, and the bottle is sometimes more cost effective. But then again, if you don't use it, you know, is it really that cost effective? So we have Dominant Industry. This is a really light ink and I've used it a couple of times and it's actually lovely. Harvest Moon, but it has to be in the right pen. So probably not an extra fine or a needlepoint, but a fine, or even like a Pelikan extra fine. So Dominant Industry, Harvest Moon. The next brand of inks are from Ferris Wheel Press, and the first one I have is Wearingeul. I bought this locally at my local fountain pen shop called Stylus. And this purple is magnificent. I love the darker toned purple, and then it's got this gorgeous pink shimmer. So fantastic. So we have, oh, way too much on there. Ferris Wheel Press. Wearingeul. Oh my gosh, I have to like spell that out. Look at this. This is such a stunning ink. One of my favorite purples ever. Gorgeous. Next we have Cabernet on the Lake. The first time I tried this was through a charger set, and then I bought this from somebody on Simona's Discord. And this wasn't an ink that I thought I would really like, but when I saw that it was available, I thought, oh gosh, I don't have many reds, but this one is lovely. And the way that it dries, I definitely know why it's called Cabernet on the Lake. It's just a gorgeous wine color ink. So we got Ferris Wheel. Oh gosh. I do have to say though, Ferris Wheel Press inks do behave well in my fine and extra fine nibs. Cabernet on the Lake. And they're just so pretty. Hard to fill out of the bottles though, and I always feel like I'm gonna knock them over. So Cabernet on the Lake. Next we have Edward's Gardens, and I know a lot of people find that this is very close to Emerald of Chivor from Jacques Herbin. Now I don't have Emerald of Chivor to compare this to, but I think Emerald of Chivor is a little bit more on the green leaning side, but it is very similar with the gold shimmer, and it's got like a touch of a red sheen to it as well. Now one thing that I will say about Ferris Wheel Press inks is that they make a lot of them as limited editions, and they're kind of a one and done deal, which I'm not a big fan of. So unfortunately, many of these inks that I'm showing you from Ferris Wheel Press are no longer available. But I did want to just take stock of all the shimmer inks that I had. Edwards Gardens. Because even if Ferris Wheel Press makes an ink, you know, limited edition, there are probably inks out there that are very similar. So just because you weren't able to get a specific one, I'm sure there's another ink that's probably very similar. So that is Edwards Gardens. The next ink is another limited edition one. It is Ferris Wheel Press Lady Rose in Gold, and I'm making the most of this little sample that I have left. I had started with maybe 3/4 of a bottle of this that was given to me by someone locally, actually, and I had given some samples to friends, and oh no, why is there, oh my gosh, there is a hint of Edwards Gardens in here. Hold on. I'm hoping I didn't get more of that into the sample, but yeah, it looks like the sample is okay. So this is Ferris Wheel Press, although, I mean, the effect of that looks cool. Lady Rose in Gold. And I did use this a couple months ago in my Radius Setimo, and it was a lovely combination. Lady Rose in Gold. The next ink is a lovely one. It is Queen and Castle. Now, I think aesthetically these bottles are so cute, but functionally, oh my gosh, they're awful. So here we are with Queen and Castle, another olive, or as Grace would call it, poop green, but this has a lovely pink shimmer. I really, really like this one. It's one of those that I really enjoyed using because of the base color, but also just so well behaved. So this is Queen and Castle. Just look at the way that that shimmer goes there. Oh, so, so pretty. Love it. The next ink from Ferris Wheel Press is Stroke of Midnight, and this one is a blue-black with shimmer. It's not one that I normally would have gone for, but it's a really lovely wintry ink, and I can see why some people would love this as well, because having a blue-black with shimmer kind of just elevates, you know, your day-to-day writing experience if you've got shimmer in there. So here we have Ferris Wheel Press. My gosh, my hands are freezing. Press Stroke of Midnight. I'm actually filming this second page on a different day from the first page. It's now Saturday for me, and it is currently -16 Celsius outside. Lovely. Stroke of Midnight. The next ink from Ferris Wheel Press is, oh, where is it? Ferris Wheel Press Workshop Wishes, a sample sent to me ages ago from a pen friend, and I'm just checking that everything's okay there. And I'm just using it in my currently inked now. But it's this lovely kind of caramel brown with this gold shimmer. It's amazing to me how shimmer can just elevate an ink. And I know there's some people who really don't like shimmer, or it's just not for them, or it hasn't worked for you. Go ahead. For me, I'm Ferris Wheel Press. No, whatever. Workshop Wishes. For me, the shimmers have a high success rate for me. And they just make journaling so fun. So that is Ferris Wheel, somewhere in there says Wheel Press Workshop Wishes. Next is the only Jacques Herbin sparkle shimmer ink that I have. It is Vert Atlantide. And I've tried Emerald of Chivor, which seems to be a huge community favorite. But I really enjoy this one. I like the dark green with the shimmer in here, which it looks like I got a little bit of that ink in Workshop Wishes. But it's a beautiful foresty dark green that I think is both a good neutral ink, and then you add that shimmer to it. Chakarbon, Vert Atlantide. You add that shimmer and it just elevates it. Lovely. And it's just, I mean, silver shimmer with the green. Beautiful. Vert Atlantide. Next is the only Pelikan ink that I have. It is Golden Barrel. And as you can see, there's barely any of this. I feel like I'm hoarding this because this one is such an impossible ink to find right now. It's a gorgeous gold with shimmer. And somebody gave this to me for Secret Santa a few years ago, and I've given many friends samples of this. It's a wonderful, bright, golden, orangey yellow ink with gold shimmer, and it's just stunning. So Pelikan, or Pelikan, Edelstein, Golden Barrel. Another one of those inks that unfortunately is no longer found in retail, but I'm hoarding that little bit that I've got there. Golden Barrel, just stunning. Next we have Penonia for Scriptus, I believe it's 2023, Lights of Niagara, and this was sent to me by pen friend S. And I've used it once, I haven't used it again, but I kept this because this one was one of those limited edition inks. And I wanted, and also just like look at it. Look at how beautiful bright blue that is. And then it's got this beautiful bright blue shimmer as well. And this one has worked out well for me too. I've tried a couple of Penonia inks with shimmer and they've done well in my pens. But also look at how beautiful that is. Lights of Niagara. Stunning. Just gorgeous. Beautiful. Next we have another Penonia ink, and this one is a collaboration with Stationery Universe. This one is Midnight Morpho, and I thank my good friend Tori for sending this through to me because her inks are stunning and a great representation of her. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous blurple ink with shimmer. And just wait for that to dry because it is stunning. Now I feel like in this one the shimmer isn't as prominent as the other ink that I will show you shortly, but is still gorgeous. And this one is Midnight Morpho. Just wait for that to dry because you can see some of the blurple happening there too. Lovely, lovely ink. The next Penonia ink with the Stationery Universe collaboration is Morning Morpho Shimmering. Why is that so difficult to say? I feel like every time I try to say this ink, I say Morning Mofo, which is definitely not what we're going for. But here we go. Look at how bright and blue this ink is. It's stunning. It's lovely, gorgeous. And then writing with it is actually a really lovely experience. I haven't had any issues with the Penonia inks, and I think Penonia. This is Morning Morpho. Tori, why did you make your ink so hard to say? Because I keep wanting to default to Mofo. Penonia Morning Morpho. The next brand of inks is Wearingeul, and the first one is Atlas, and you can already see how much shimmer is even in just that little sample. Ooh, hold on. So here we go. I actually really love that light blue. And then that bluish shimmer really just makes it more blue. Who knew that there were so many different combinations of ink and shimmer? So this is Wearingeul. Oh, that's a really like beautiful ink for winter. Atlas. There we go, just making sure I get that all down there. Lovely. The next Wearingeul ink is Dracula, and this was another sample sent to me by pen friend Lexi. And when I first swatched this, it was not one that I was a fan of, but then when I actually put it in a pen, I really enjoyed it. Okay, and I see that I put a drop on Wearingeul Atlas. Poop. Lovely. And then let's put some on my stainless steel nib here. I'm trying to work quickly because there's so many inks that I'm going through right now. So we have, and that one has way too much ink in it. So we have Wearingeul, Dracula. Lovely. Although I see the little drop that mixed here with Atlas, and that looks really cool too. Look at that. Beautiful. It's not one that I would normally go for, but I have tried it once and I actually really like it, and I can't bear to part with the sample. The next one from Wearingeul is Persephone, and I want to see how similar this ink is to Auroralis, and I think it was Deck the Halls. I feel like they're very similar, but I've done this before where I've swatched both of these and they're definitely different, so I have to have both in my collection, right? They're not the same purple. They're not the same shimmer. So of course I have to have both in my collection because they are gorgeous. So I'm getting some on my nib here. This is a Wearingeul. Oh, I don't know what it is about purple shimmer inks, but I love them. Persephone. Lovely. There's just something about purple inks. And then you add shimmer, you got me. Lovely. The next Wearingeul ink is the Autumn Night After 1,000 Years. This was another one that I had received from Wearingeul, and this one is really pretty. However, I don't feel like the shimmer was generally very consistent while I was writing with it. But I still want to keep this because it's one of those inks that is really pretty. It's one of those lovely fall inks, and I mean the word autumn is in the name, so this is, I'm just gonna say Autumn Night After 1,000 Years. Look at the gold shimmer in there. I wish the gold shimmer had showed up more in my when I was writing with it, but it's still a gorgeous ink. The next ink from Wearingeul is the Nightingale and the Rose. This was another ink that I bought, or actually, no, that's not true. I tried a sample of this, I think, and really loved it and decided to get it. Or is that, I don't know. I can't remember now. There were quite a few inks that I got in this last year, and I can't remember if I actually bought samples first. I don't think I actually bought a sample of this one. I lied. I apologize. I think I'm going through that phase though where I'm like, if it feels like it's something that I really want, I will get it. Nightingale and the Rose. It just feels like a very me ink. It's brown with this like reddish pink shimmer. Why wouldn't I get it? It's a beautiful fall ink, but I feel like it's really good for the holidays too. Nightingale and the Rose. The next ink is Wearingeul, the Star Child. This was another ink sent to me by Wearingeul, and it wasn't one that I was originally interested in trying, but I thought, you know what, go outside of your comfort zone, Karina, and give this one a try. And I'm so glad that I did, because it's not a color that I would normally go for, but it is really stunning for fall. I love the orange. I know, who knew? I love this kind of brown burnt orange, the Star Child, and then it's got that pink shimmer in there. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I didn't think I would, and I'm so glad I went outside of my comfort zone to try this one, the Star Child. The next ink is Robert Oster and Atlas Sidewalk Gum. Now I have to admit, in the swatches, this ink is stunning, but in everyday use, this ink was a bit of a nightmare. I ended up getting a bottle of this at the San Francisco Pen Show from Brendan, or, you know, Mr. Hollywood himself. And I kind of want to keep it just for the fact that it's a souvenir of that. But I did have the whole bottle. I ended up giving the bottle to a pen friend, and I've kept a sample for myself. It's a beautiful ink in theory, but it just clogged my pens. It's gorgeous, and I wish that it worked out for me, but I feel like Robert Oster shimmer inks, the particles are just that bit too big for the feeds of my pen. So this unfortunately doesn't work, but it's beautiful. And I will keep this sample maybe for art or something like that. So that is Robert Oster Atlas Sidewalk Gum. The next ink is Troublemaker Copper Patina. And this one is, look at that beautiful teal or turquoise. Can never remember. Oh, hold on. I don't think I got enough here in my, oh yeah, there we go. Making sure I get enough in my nib to do my swatch. So we have Troublemaker, and I really like this ink. Now that I know a little bit more about what copper is supposed to patina like after or over time, this is such a great representation of it. And also that kind of green gold shimmer. Beautiful. The next ink is from Tono Lims, and it is Amethyst. Now, the first time I inked this in a pen, I don't think I actually got all of the shimmer. So I decided I'm going to keep this to try one more time. I mean, I won't ink this up like right now in a pen, but probably in January or February, ink this up so that I can see the beautiful shimmer in this lovely kind of lilac purple or amethyst. And generally Tono Lims for their shimmer inks have worked well for me, except for one, and that was Labradorite Amethyst, which was unfortunate because it was pretty, but I found maybe the combination of that blue with the gold, maybe it was a bit too much for my pen. Beautiful. Tono Lims Amethyst. The next one from Tono Lims is Earth Contact 001 or Phosphophilite. I got this at the San Francisco Pen Show from Van Ness. If you haven't purchased from Van Ness before, they have an amazing selection of inks, and I do have a discount code, and I'll leave that in the description below. It's basically Karina10 to get 10% off. But isn't that such a fun ink? And I didn't think I would like this color, but I actually really like this kind of bright turquoise or teal. Tono Lims, can we do Phosphophilite? I don't know if I spelled that correctly. I really like that. It's such a fun ink. And, you know, the thing that I've noticed though is that in some of the inks, you can really see the individual particles of shimmer, but others just look like a blanket of shimmer. And I feel like that's what that is happening here. So Tono Lims Phosphophilite or Earth Contact 001. All right, we are down to the last brand here, and I'm telling you now, I thought I had 42, and then I realized I do not. I have 40 shimmer inks here. So this next brand is Van Dieman's, and this is August. Another one sent to me by pen friend S, and she has the tendency, or she likes to send me ink samples or inks that are limited or special edition. Oh, I can see I put so much on here. Oh, so pretty. But let me see if that, yeah, that looks okay. And then let's get some on. So this is Van Dieman's August. It's a really lovely kind of burgundy red. Oh, didn't get enough here on my nib. Oh boy, what's happening? There we go. Well, that doesn't look neat. That's okay. What is happening? I'm wondering if, oh no, it still looks okay. Maybe it's just not settling in my nib. Van Diemen's August. It's pretty. I love it. And last but not least, we have Van Diemen's May. Again, sent to me by Pen Friend S. I love these little vials that she sends these in. I think they're so adorable. But Van Diemen's, I think, had a whole collection of birthday months. And look at that. This one is this deep purple with shimmer. And you guys know how much I love those purples. So here we go. Van Diemen's May. And this one also has a little bit of sheen as well. Look at that. Lovely. So there is my shimmer ink collection, and yeah, I didn't realize I had that many. There could be 2 more that go here, but I have them in currently inked, and then they will probably be done after I do my currently inked, so I'm not going to add them to my collection because they won't be in my collection after this month. But looking through this, I've got quite a good variety, I think. But then I see things like all of the purples that I have, you'd think, do I really need that many purple shimmers? And then when I look at the intricacies and differences between them, I'm like, yes, I do. Now, out of all of these, which ones are my favorite? And that really is hard to say. Although I do love Ferris Wheel Press or Wearingeul. I love Wearingeul Persephone. And then I really love Diamine U-Log, Diamine Masquerade. Actually, a lot of the Diamine inks I really love because they just work so well in my pens. What do you think of my shimmer ink collection? I appreciate you staying throughout this very long video, but I loved that I was able to take stock of what I have and see if, you know, is there something that I need? No, I never need more inks, but it's great to know what I have and be able to refer to this if need be. What are your favorite shimmer inks? Has this helped you decide what you'd like to try, possibly in an extra fine or a fine nib? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you all so much for sticking through this long video, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks again, and don't forget to hit that like button and to subscribe. Have yourselves a great day.